Undoubtedly, for the long-term strategic political analysis, the position of energy dynamics have to be evaluated carefully. While energy becoming vital for the development targets of the strengthening Asia countries, the importance of these analyses also increases. TESPAM's long-term projections regarding with the long-term energy projections show that oil and gas will remain the most important energy resources in the world. Although energy transition attempts play a key role, which is altering the dynamics, energy hunger of the undeveloped poor societies and China-India-like crowded countries will not be able to be solved with green-based transition issues. This view means oil and mostly gas security will continue to be an important game changer in the political dynamics in the world. Especially gas security, in addition to these, while the energy consumption trends for the currently developed great economics is forecasted to be the same, but the equation is highly different in the undeveloped side. This means a higher importance of oil and gas security issues for some regions, such as Asia. From this perspective, as being locating at the heart of the energy demand circle with their high resource potentials, Turkic countries and their long-term supply forecasts become much more important for the global players in the world. Again, mostly for China and India, but also indirectly for EU, Russia, and US. In order to be able to forecast the long-term supply potentials of the Turkic countries, production and consumption estimations has to be evaluated by taking into consideration many different points, such as reserves, new discovery possibilities, investment environments, legislations, economics, technology transfer, and logistical issues, international agreements, existence of key international companies, related production and transportation infrastructures, commerciality of each huge projects, market prices, costs, and other international trends. During these estimations and forecast studies, all these mentioned points have been analyzed within some assumptions. In this regard, according to our results, the graphic below shows the production forecasts of the Turkish states. These production volumes are important not only for current production levels but also for other possible hydrocarbon discoveries and new investments on the existing discovered fields in the region. It is understood from the graph that Kazakhstan is the largest hydrocarbon producer in this region, but it is also thought to have an important potential in terms of new discoveries. As can be seen from the graph above, while Kazakhstan, Turkey, and slightly Turkmenistan is increasing the oil and condensate production rates with the new discoveries of field developments, Azerbaijan's volumes are continuing to be decreasing. As TESPAM, it has been emphasized in numerous places in other articles that the importance of oil is quite high today, but that this importance will slowly disappear in time, and gas will get the crown of the oil around 2060s. So let's review the gas production figures of Turkish countries in this region and take a look at the graph that includes the 2050 gas production projection. In turn, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and Kazakhstan gas productions are quite high and have an incremental trend. However, although Azerbaijan gas production rates are increasing, the peak level is estimated to start a decline around 2038. Note, in these calculations for Kazakhstan, all flared gas volumes are also added into the production amounts. In Turkey, the foreign dependency on gas demand will somehow be reduced with the recently discovered Sakarya gas field in the Black Sea. Total gas production in the Turkic countries will decrease around 140% in this 40 years period. After mentioning the production forecasts of the Turkish countries in order to calculate the export potentials, now the consumption figures have to be evaluated. In this regard, the chart below shows the oil consumption forecasts of the Turkish countries. During these estimations, in both oil and gas consumptions, GDP incremental rates, economical dynamics, investments and trends for the energy transition, electrical car sale trends, existing reserves and infrastructures, prices and social tendencies are taken into consideration. As can be seen from the graph below, Turkey with the greatest population and GDP will bear the highest oil consumption rate, and this rate will slightly to continue increase. The second consumer in the equation is Kazakhstan and then Turkmenistan. Total oil consumption volumes will nearly be doubled in the 40 years period. From the side of gas consumption, as can be seen in the graph below, the biggest slice belongs to Uzbekistan, and Turkey is closely following and becoming the greatest consumer in the coming years. While Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan's levels do not change significantly, Turkmenistan with a higher incremental rates will be the second consumer around 2050s. After giving the oil and gas production and consumption forecasts for all Turkic countries, it is not time to calculate the export potentials by naturally assuming export potentials equals production minus consumption. As can be seen from the graph below, only 3 Turkic countries have a surplus volume for oil exports. These are Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, and with increasing condensate levels, Turkmenistan. Without any doubt, Kazakhstan is the leader oil supplier among the Turkic countries, and Azerbaijan is losing power while the existing fields such as ACG is continuing to be matured. However, Turkmenistan's export volumes is estimated to hover the second floor due to increasing condensate potential. In addition, total amount of the exports in 2050 will show a little increase around 290,000 barrels per day by comparing the 2020 supplies. From the side of gas exports, except Turkey and Kyrgyzstan, all other Turkic countries have different gas export potentials. As can be observed from the graph above, Turkmenistan, with its plenty proved resources, is the leader gas supplier in the Turkic countries. Kazakhstan seems to be the second exporter. However, due to the salt flare gas issues, second floor is held by Uzbekistan. Note, currently Kazakhstan is flaring more than 60% of its gas production due to be able to continue its oil production. This situation has to be solved with some additional projects and investments. From this regard, by comparing with the 2020 with the 2050 values, total gas export volumes of Turkic countries can be increased around 116 BCMA, which is an increase around 100%. However, again, we have to mention that we assume that the gas flare problem is resolved in Kazakhstan with a collaborated investment model.